Hey, welcome in. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but as it turns out, literally everything in the universe is racist. I mean, except for, actual demonstrable racism. Stuff like this, abolishing whiteness has never been more urgent. Aside from stuff like that, actual racism, but everything else in the universe is racist. Let's just go through a few of the worst offenders. Of course, we all knew that milk was racist, of course. And now we've all been made aware that time itself is racist. How about this? Smithsonian Institution explains that rationality and hard work are racist. So you can check those off the list. Now, some of you may not be aware, actually, that hair is racist. So that's very troubling indeed. I'm really glad that we're tackling that. So here we have it. We can now confirm that birds are also racist. This is great. Here we have it. Washington Post reporter troubled by racist legacy of some birds. The National Audubon Society is also problematic because namesake was a slave owner, newspaper says. Well, that's it. We need to cancel birds. They need to go. They're a bunch of racists. So anyway, according to the Washington Post, it's hunting season for cancel culture, and its latest targets are racist birds. So if you're wondering what the media was going to do after Trump, I guess this answers it. Because they still need bad guys, right? And they still need to find racism somewhere. And I guess just, why not birds, right? Well, we've already done milk, we've done time, we've done computers, we've done hard work. Let's go with birds. So anyway, the Post ran an expansive report on Thursday titled, "The Racist Legacy Many Birds Carry." And it was focused on the birding community, which apparently is having a difficult debate about the names of species connected to enslavers, supremacists, and grave robbers. And I guess it's great that we're finally dealing with this because this was of great concern to Washington Post and one ornithologist. So justice for one ornithologist and the Washington Post. Talk about brave. Talk about brave. Karina Newsom is a black ornithologist, as rare as some of the birds she studies. The Post environmental justice reporter, Daryl Fears, well, that's a good name for an environmental justice reporter. Daryl Fears began his piece, noting that she was hired to break down barriers at the Georgia Audubon Nature Preserve. This is just so insane. This is just so obviously the need of the modern left to just keep finding oppression, to keep finding an ism or an ist everywhere, under every rock. The ideology has to keep feeding. Anyway, apparently there's a terrible struggle in the ornithology community, and there needs to be a reckoning there. And I guess it's not going to be easy. Quote, "But overcoming those barriers will be daunting. As with the wider field of conservation, racism and colonialism are in ornithology's DNA. Indelibly linked to its origin story." Okay, so what you're saying is just everything's racist. Just accept it. Everything's racist. Milk's racist, birds, trees, dolphins, everything. Everything's racist. The sky is racist. The universe is racist. Quantum physics is racist. What isn't? Was ornithology designed to be racist? It's a tool of colonialism? The sun will never set on the British Empire. Send out the ships and the guns and the ornithologists. I don't know. Does this just feel like a little bit of a stretch to you? I don't know. Anyway, the challenge of how to move forward is roiling white ornithologists as they debate whether to change as many as 150 eponyms, names of birds that honor people with connections to slavery and supremacy. So that's the challenge. Why bother? They're just birds. They're just bird names. Who cares? Do we have to change everything in the world now? Does this really hurt anybody? Is there anybody who can't get on with their life because of the names of birds? How can you function in life at all if this is so distressing to you? But apparently these are barriers that just have to be overcome because we can't move forward as a as a technological society without renaming birds. So I guess it comes down to, there's a couple of birds here, Bachman's sparrow and Wallace's fruit dove. So I guess Bachman and Wallace were bad people who did some bad things. So I guess Bachman and Wallace lived in a different time and did things that we wouldn't approve of today. Which, doing things that we wouldn't approve of today is totally unique to white people, by the way. I mean, obviously, only white people have ever done things that you wouldn't approve of in the English-speaking world today. Except for all the people in the world right now that do those things right now that aren't English-speaking countries. But anyway, I mean, that doesn't matter. Wait a second, we're thinking too much. We gotta stop. So let's see, this ornithologist is deeply troubled by the racist actions of John James Audubon, I guess after which the Audubon Society is named after, and recognize how painful that legacy is for Black, Indigenous, and people of color who are part of our staff, volunteers, donors, and members. Is it really, though? I mean, she's saying that it is. I mean, has she done a poll? Is it really bothering anybody that much other than her? But anyway, this is interesting, and just how it shows how dysfunctional this critical race theory, this intersectionalism, the new leftism, how dysfunctional it is, and how dysfunctional it makes everything that it touches. Now you have to start renaming hundreds of birds. You have to basically start changing the field itself because an ornithologist is upset with the names of birds. And it does this to everything. It upends everything, which is not good and not healthy. You can't just upend your entire society because it's not just ornithology, is it? It's everything. This stuff is in every institution now. And how can you have a functional society when everybody's worried about whether milk or birds or time is racist? How can anything function in a society like that? And that's not even getting into the Marxist roots of it all. Anyway, more craziness for you. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. That really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's the podcast Radio Baloney. It's on pretty much every platform. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.